social instability information for everyone, not just journalists. Be safe whilst you do your trade. But whilst you are safe, I should also be safe.
Okay, now let us come to media viability. You know, there was a conference when your administration took office. There was a media conference, you know, a media investment conference, wherein recommendations were made, you know, on how to make the media lucrative, you know, to address the issue of media poverty. But then, how far have you gone with that? Because
that's also precipitated to the establishment of the public interest media fund that a lot of the media houses now are benefiting from. So that is why I say we are creating a partnership, hold international conferences, bringing, good people to Sierra Leone to engage with the media, creating the opportunity. And that establishment has brought more goodies to the media landscape. Now go around and see what is happening. We have got emergence of new media houses, and the former ones, I can name names. If you go to their studios now, you really know they are benefiting from what we intentionally established. So as an administration, we are not just supporting, we are creating the enabling environment that other to support the media.
Now that fund,
that
fund, it is because the SLBC is a public service broadcaster, and because that particular fund is for a public interest media, and we are also a public interest media, but we are not benefactors.
So let us look at, we do not control it as an administration. We don't want to look at who gets and who do not get. A board was established by Slash itself. Who gets what, we don't care. So we want to ensure that
it is left open.
Yes, competitive. I think what is happening is you do a proposal, they fetch your proposal, there is a committee for that. If you qualify, they give. Slash knows government is not have any hands in that. We don't determine who gets. Or else you should have said government is still controlling who benefits from that fund. But we don't have any control over that.
But then don't you think there is a need for also a special fund for the SLBC?
That is the bilateral engagement, because SLBC is an established, that works like you are one of our agencies.
No, the thing is that SLBC, yes. You know, one thing, the misconception is that because SLBC is now a kind of a semi-autonomous, in fact, by its act, it is an autonomous body. But then that doesn't mean that it should not benefit from the largest, from the central.
So what is stopping SLBC from tapping into the opportunity?
No, what I'm saying is that there are some people who think that because we've got we are now an independent body or a corporation, we should not be benefiting from some of the things that come from government. No, we should, because even in the BBC, the Director General of the BBC is one of the highest paid civil servants in the UK. That's you know for sure. So which means
Sheko,
yes.
I was talking about maturity of our democracy. Because we have not matured to that level, a lot of people think government should not have hands in everything. You know, if you start to pay from the coffers of SLBC, because they want control with it, they say. That's the general perception.
But then you can still support without control. No, you can still support without control.
So that is why we are not controlling. We establish that public interest media form, and we do not dictate who goes to get what. These are still reforms we are proud of. We have not stifled that. We have not cracked down on newspaper or media houses. We have not jailed any journalist. So what are the gains that are being?
But why do you think this report is suggesting otherwise? This report, us dropping 23 places down.
So what I wanted to establish is there is difference between taking these things as a process or as a product. When you take learning as a process and learning as a product, you look at this assessment to be the end and be it all. For instance, somebody is in class 6 in one school, he's being transferred and sits in class 5. At the end of the year, he comes first in that class 5. So the school, he did very well. But if you now note that this person is coming from classes, he went and he's placed in class 5. Coming first means nothing to the parent. That is, you self-assessment. But to that school, he's doing very well. So sometimes when you do this assessment, again, take your eyes off this perception-based, compare it to other people who have made progress that you have already achieved. Perhaps during this time that we have done all these things, I was in a conference with one Minister of Information. He said, why are you in haste to repeal Part 5 of the Public Order Act? He said, I will never do it. I said, really? He said, yes. He said, I'll do it. He said, even before coming here, I left 5 journalists.
In prison?
Yes. He was very proud. He said, I went to school in Sierra Leone. We admire a lot of things. He said, well, you are hasty enough in repealing that. I said, no. We want to, move with global trends. He said, you have to be very cautious. He said, this is Sierra Leone. And he might be right in his mind, but for us and our president, what we want to see is you feel very, very comfortable in plying your trade. But again, with the caution that the other person also is safe.
All right.
I am a minister, or deputy minister, or deputy spokesperson for the government, but I'm also a citizen of Sierra Leone. You cannot just once enjoy your comfort in plying your trade. Just bring me down as a citizen. And this Cyber Act was here. It did not happen yesterday or today. So I don't think we are being rated based on this Cyber Act. Or else they should also have rated us in achieving data protection law.
Okay.
Our new media policy law, the recent bill approved by cabinet, that is now going to have an access to information authority. That if you ask Baona for any information, I am authorized.
Except for the ones classified as a classic or what?
So I told a congregation.
But the thing is, Mr. Minister,
I told the congregation that it is not every information you ask for.
Yes, and that also should be explained because people think, oh, I have access. I should be granted access to information, but then
So for instance,
also realize or to understand that there are certain information you cannot just get.
Sheku, if you have been to Kokri, you want information, and you are asked how many RPGs, how many anti-aircraft gone on the 23rd, 26th days, and at Cheku. Do you think you'll be called for questioning?
No.
You will be called.
Because
you have already accessed information.
Why?
You want to know why did you ask? And 2 days later we are attacked.
No, but the thing is that now
coincidence.
Now the thing is, Mr. Minister,
you have been exposed to an information.
Even during emergencies, ethically,
ethically don't ask for that.
No, I'm saying, during emergencies, journalism is constrained. That is understood. Because, for example, Asta for life, if I may put it that way, if Israel is, at war with Guinea, and the Guineans are advancing, and our soldiers are retreating, as a journalist, you're not coming and say,
why didn't you say Guinea is retreating while we are advancing?
You collaborate to ensure that, because you are Israeli first before becoming a journalist. But then now let me come back to Alice, the organizing secretary of SLAG. Talk to us about how far you've gone in ensuring that media professionals also go by the ethics of the profession. Because if you are coming for equity, you must come with clean hands. So what have you done?
As you can see, we constantly are engaging our media family. We are organizing trainings for journalists. In every situation, whether it's elections, whether it's disaster, whether it's whatever is happening, we ensure that there are trainings for our journalist family so that journalists will practice professionally. We keep hammering it home that it's not just about getting the rights. You are supposed to have the responsibilities. There are responsibilities that are due you when certain rights are given unto you. We also know that our role is to hold government accountable, and we're asking for that so that when we have the opportunity to do our job in a free atmosphere, one that is not stifling us, one that is not killing us, one that is not making our minds feel like we shouldn't practice, we come forth so that we can have that, so that the general public who we are government accountable for. They know the truth and they can make informed decisions. They are free to talk, because if we as journalists cannot talk, of course the population you would never hear the good.
So wait, are you as it is right now? I mean, the cyber laws are there, and some other laws are there, and basically your press release speaks to especially the laws. In as much as we appreciate the environment insofar as the practice of journalism is concerned at present in this country, but then you are concerned about the laws. Do you think what you're asking for is achievable?
Yes, it's supposed to be achievable. We're hopeful that government will see into what we are asking, because we need to be protected in doing our work. Journalists cannot do their job if the environment, freedom of speech is not protected, if the freedom of press freedom is not protected. So we don't just want it to be any law. We want one that is enshrined, the protection of freedom of speech, of freedom of the press, embedded in the Constitution, so that we feel safe. We feel that when we're doing our job responsibly, ethically, we are protected in doing it.
But and you now, Parliament, you know that the amendment bill, as part of our constitutional amendments, there is now a bill in Parliament, and the Parliament has also requested that individuals and institutions, present, position papers on what they want to see in our new constitution as large. Have you done that?
Oh, we have done that.
Okay.
The dialogue is going on. We've engaged the Attorney General, Minister of Justice, and all the stakeholders. Of course, the Ministry of Information. They know that we've presented our papers because we had media consultations. We've got even with partners, international partners, media partners internationally. We've engaged so that we see this standalone chapter come into realization. We just want the government to know that this is not against them. We're not here to fight government. We want a mutual understanding wherein it's for Sierra Leone going forward, and that this decline, can be a thing of the past.
But now, the government, through Mr. Bawo, Deputy Minister, he says that, for example, if your wish is granted, for a standalone chapter to protect journalists, in that Cybersecurity Act, other organizations will also come up. For example, he mentioned the civil society and other rights groups.
The media is not just called the fourth estate for nothing. We're partners in development. We're part of this. We are responsible for truth. Right. So we want them to know that we're here. It's important. Our role is very important. We cannot hold government accountable if the media is dormant, if the media cannot perform their duty, if the media cannot speak, the entire nation is going to be quiet.
But then now, according to the Deputy Minister, it is very unlikely that that stand-alone chapter.
I have not said so.
It did not say that. I don't want you to. It did not say that.
So it is likely that
It did not say that. We don't want you to bring
anything debated in Parliament. It's left with the Parliament to see what is best for the country.
Okay. So now
I will not preempt.
And the standalone chapter is
but you are a bit skeptical about it. In a way.
What I said, they want a standalone chapter in our constitution for journalism. My reservation is that it does not draw a lot of standalone chapters. We have a barrage of people coming for standalone chapter. Women issue, child rights, and that's standalone chapter. But the best people to determine what is good in the constitution are our legislative arm now. And the process is ongoing. Whatever is good. But again, if I should caution here, there are three things SLAJ really need to take into consideration before asking for a standalone chapter or whatever. Or how can we make it work as a nation? First, the emergence of the new media also poses threats to them. New media versus traditional media. We know all the laws we talk about, just like traditional media. The new media. Our new media law takes into consideration blogging and other things. But that is where SLAJ also should be paying attention. How do we ensure anybody who goes to the media? Because a lot of the time the problem we have is, so Sheikh works for SNBC, traditional journalist. he goes to his Facebook page and posts something. People come after him there on social media. Then he blames the government.
Yeah, we basically took all that into consideration.
So that is one.
Winter.
Two, there are people who do not even subscribe. They don't pay subscription to Slash. So they don't want to be controlled by Slash. They don't want to be under the umbrella of Slash. And they practice journalism.
But the thing is that now, as you think, there is the IMC Act. Now, the IMC Act is being reviewed. And one of the provisions that are going to be in that reviewed IMC Act is about this new media you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
We are working on the policy, like I
yes,
said.
yes. Okay.
So, again, the last one I will say is, recently there was an analysis of the media landscape in Sierra Leone. And what we saw was the media is coming too partisan. Some go pro-green, others red. And if you do that, it's a disservice to the people. Allow Bakari as the deputy spokesperson to talk for government. Allow Mikhailo to talk for APC. If you want to do journalism, you have to do people-centered journalism. But if we see the landscape by that analysis becoming too colored, again it's a concern. So what is happening is not a crackdown. We are shifting. You know, we want to use this profession and shift to publicity. When you do that, again you make it very difficult for both Slash and the administration.
But don't you think that calls for an urgent need
for Slash?
No, what I'm saying, for the media to be made financially viable. You know, so some of these things that are happening.
That was what was noted in the United Nations paper that you read after 2012, the decline in the freedom of the media is because this sponsorship, this invisible hand paying the bills. So if we have established a public interest media and people are tapping into this opportunity, Slash should be responsible enough to really bridge these ethical issues to their membership.
But according to Madam Toure, they've been doing that. In fact, they are partnering with the Media Reform Coordinating Group for capacity building programs for media professionals in this country. And Mr. Bawo, you can agree with me, but for the past couple of years, I mean, us in the traditional media, we hardly get into trouble with government and you know, private entities because of the steps Slash and NRCG and others have taken. You know, you can now see some sanity in the media profession.
That is why I position traditional versus the emerging new media. We have online television programs all over the place. How Slash really ensures that the ethical standards, whether you are online, whether you are traditional, because these are places now we have had this proliferation of
that's the role of the government in fighting for that, because most of those people practicing are not they're not how would you say traditional journalists.
These are
people anybody can just get.
They are traditional journalists that have transitioned.
Not all of them. Majority
most
of people
them.
who have decided.
But most of them.
And it's not censored. It's not sanitized because the government has not. But that is why the IMC is coming out with regulations so that it can be regulated.
So,
soon, I think
that is why
it should soon be.
Now we have
but that is the role of government to do.
We have seen this establishment of all this now. It is fine for our people because it increases access to information. But if we use IMC now to censure them, then again we are going back to saying government is still trying.
But these bloggers.
So how do we collaborate?
Mr. Bao,
that it is not seen as government coming after them.
Yes, these bloggers, you know, I know.
Not just bloggers, so
no,
there are lots of
those
online television.
Those online. Be them bloggers, those online, those who are making use of the social media space in the practice of journalism. Now, you see that some of them, the big names in our politics, you know, are behind them. will not call names here.
So that's why
Also, they have
partisan.
They have gone partisan to the point that they don't cross-check what they write, and they are using the media, the social media, to intimidate their political
So let me
opponents.
tell you now what will happen. If you go after any of them, Slash will come and say, no, you're harassing journalists. Two of us. True. She will say true.
No, you can't say that. If they're not journalists, they're just bloggers online. You can't
No, he's not just going to be bloggers.
No.
He's talking about this online television.
No, Slash does have, you know, a disciplinary committee. Now, journalists, now, I can confirm to you, Mr. Bao, that journalists had been or are still being reprimanded, you know, for going against the rules, you know. And there is a special committee, a disciplinary committee, responsible for some of these things.
I agree on what you said. It was a very good premise. Now we have a lot of online televisions and radio stations sponsored by politicians. You put it very well. So they are not ethical like you are, because you are a traditional journalist, but they are still assumed to be journalists. If now they post something without verifying, without cross-checking ethically, then the administration goes after them. What happens? Slash.
Okay, Slash.
Even those who are not subscribed to Slash are being protected by Slash. Two of us.
The Slash is for all journalists.
So
if
you
that one
you have a child. You have a child that is not that does not want to abide
that is not
by the
under
ethical
Slash
standard.
section.
He has moved off the home. He's in the street behaving anyhow. But when he runs into the law, then he comes as a parent. He's one of us.
So now finally,
all-
as we are about wrapping off this program, let us talk about the way forward for media freedom in this country, and what we should do and what we shouldn't do to ensure that we have a sanitized media space. I start with you, Alice Magamatoué, organizing secretary for Slash. What do we do to ensure that we sanitize the space, we ensure that professionalism prevails, and we ensure that ethical standards are adhered to?
As journalists, we all know that we have our own roles to play. Like I keep saying it, responsibilities are. We should do our job ethically, professionally, as a journalist is supposed to do. And so we know that is our steps. Of course, the media institutions, they are so responsible. Some are trying, and we are still monitoring and talking to them so that they continue to train their journalists, train their workers so that they can do their work professionally. And also to the government, we're still lobbying, we're still talking, we're still having dialogues and consultation. It's still ongoing, but we want to see action for them, you know, taking action to protect the rights of freedom of expression, freedom of press, basically. That's what we're calling on.
And we saw your affiliate body, one of your affiliate bodies, Reporters Union, they were on hiking some few days ago, and they really enjoyed themselves. Because I also saw, you know, media owners, senior journalists, you know, who went to patronize with the Reporters Unions, including government officials. Because I saw officials from the Ministry of Information, they are also there.
Because we're partners, so it's sometimes we need to take just not just our pains and our looks. Sometimes we're humans too, so it's good for us to socialize.
No, it was fun. Actually, it was fun. Well, Mr. Powell, quickly tell us before you go, what is the commitment to press freedom?
Key amongst any commitment we can make is what we did to take away from the room that elephant that was there. So we did that, and we want to ensure that the collaboration between us as like you mentioned, I think last year I was with them at Kington. If I even put the star prize, recently I was in Bo, the first customized football jersey for Slash in South Asia I did for them. So that is how we have gone far to collaborate with the media, because what we believe, especially in the ministry, and the president always tells us, is if you don't have the media, then they will not hear what you want to say. You have to ensure that they have access to the information. They feel like they are part of governance. They are not just fourth estate, they are part of governance. Because, I mean, they reach further than I can ever travel. I mean, well, what we should ensure is the ethical standard of their profession. We have to collaborate to ensure that one person do not bring down the state called Sierra Leone. It had happened. We have a story not of a teacher bringing down the state, but we have a story of a journalist behind the mic.
So the pen is mightier than the sword.
In Rwanda, it was just the journalist that brought down the whole state. So what we have to maintain is the container. Sierra Leone is bigger than any content of it. You be a journalist, you be a teacher, you be a doctor. What we ensure is to protect Sierra Leone. And we want to work collaboratively with SLASH to ensure that the gains we are making, let us shift our eyes away from perception-based ranking and look at the ground. Let us build the environment that we'll be proud of, even if we are 30th or 150. But we know when you come to Sierra Leone, what is
about these perceptions, they should not be ignored.
We are not ignoring them.
They should not be ignored.
But they should not take
These
precedence.
are what international
They should not
investors want to come to. These are what they look for.
Yeah.
They don't know
They should not take precedence
they look
over
outside.
the reality man you are seeing.
Yeah, but at the same time, government has to be aware of
understand?
them and have to work in the line.
So that is why when it happens,
work.
we meet.
Don't you accept, and work on it?
That is why our responsibility
Because
now.
you are in governance, you know
What-
some of these perceptions, these are perceptions that determine even release of funds for certain projects. So
if you
these are
read
not
the
things that you can just trivialize in a way.
Sheikh, if you read the report, we have made progress in the legal framework in trying to sanitize. We have deep informed, we don't know. They have not pinpointed anything from the administration, from the government that we have done that should bring this decline. Other people have made progress. We accept, we are moving. Like I've told you, there are a lot of reforms that we are making now.
Okay.
Perhaps we'll speak to the next report. We are friendlier with SLASH than any other administration.
The subvention,
It is always communication. We have not even received our own submission as a minister.
So with an increase in subvention and continued collaboration,
Yes.
you are fine with SLASH.
We are fine with SLASH because they are part of governance.
All right, okay, thank you so much. He is the Deputy Minister of Information and Civic Education, Mr. Bao. And have you heard him, Alice Mariam Maturi, the organizing secretary for the Sierra Leone Association of Journalists and SLASH. And that is how we say goodbye. It has been good morning, Sierra Leone, which came to you live from the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation Television. Many thanks to the entire production team, especially producer Daphne Zainab Kamara. I am Sheku Smaila saying goodbye and keep watching the SLBC.
As a mother of the house, whenever I want to prepare palm soup, there's no need pounding palm fruit. All I need is Nkulenu's Ghana's original palm soup base. My soup is done, and its preparation, it is not difficult at all. Nkulenu palm soup base, it's easily done with no difficulties. Just take few ladles and your soup is done. And its flavor, it's amazing. This is Nkulenu's Ghana's original palm soup base. And this is Nkulenu's Ghana's original spiced palm soup base. Iron fruit and turkey berries are naturally added.
Also available Brown Gold Natural Cocoa Powder, Sunny Gold Brown Sugar, Meat for Full Flour, Shito, Pisa, and Moringa. All available at Nyami Ado Enterprise, 1 Lower Waterloo Street, Freetown.
Nkulenu palm soup base.
Ghanaian original taste.